Hello students, chapter 5, video number 3. In this video, I'll be discussing about incomplete dominance, codominance, paleotropy, and polygenic inheritance. So to start with, let us start with incomplete dominance. What is incomplete dominance? Students, it is a condition where neither of the two alleles of the same gene show themselves. Both of them are not completely dominant on each other, such that the phenotype of the F1 generation is not same as that of the parents. Rather, the phenotype of the F1 generation is intermediate of the two. A very good example you can see is of snapdragon. The snapdragon, if the red flower is crossed with the white flower, according to Mendel, in the F1 generation, it should have been red, but we get pink flower. See, the red crossed with white, you are getting pink flower. This is the snapdragon children, antidynam or dog flower. This is the parent generation, the pure red is crossed with white. And when the two are crossed, then in the F1 generation, it is 100% pink. On selfing this F1 generation, in the F2 generation, you get one red, two pink, and one white. Thus, the F2 generation, the phenotype of F2 generation is 1:2:1. One red, two pink, one white. And if you can see, the genotype is also the same. The phenotypic ratio and the genotypic ratio of incomplete dominance is the same. Whereas in Mendel's complete dominance, the phenotypic ratio was 3:1 and the genotypic ratio was 1:2:1. This is the major difference between a complete dominance monohybrid cross and an incomplete dominance. Now we start with codominance. What is codominance? Codominance means here both the alleles of the gene expresses themselves simultaneously in a heterozygous. If it is a hybrid, then both the alleles will express themselves. That is codominance, and a very good example of codominance is ABO blood group in humans. The ABO blood group, you know, in humans we have 4 types of blood groups: blood group A, blood group B, AB, and O. Blood group A has antigen A, antibody B. Blood group B has antigen B, antibody A. Blood group AB has antigen A and B both, but no antibody. And blood group O does not have any antigen, but both the antibodies. If you see to the blood group children of humans, this blood group is controlled by a gene I. This gene I has 3 alleles: IA, IB, and I. Student, IA and IB, these 2 alleles are dominant, and I is a recessive allele. Now, because allele IA and IB both are dominant, you call it as codominance. Now, actually, this gene I, it controls the kind of sugar polymer which is produced on the plasma membrane of RBC. The plasma membrane of RBC produces a sugar polymer. A sugar polymer protrudes out from the surface of the RBC, and that is controlled by the gene I. Now the allele IA and allele IB produces slightly different sugars, whereas allele I does not produce any sugar. So you have seen just now one gene I has 3 alleles, IA, IB and I. Here I want to make it very clear, children, that in an organism, there will be only 2 alleles. In an individual, there will be only 2 alleles controlling it. But in a population, there are 3 alleles of gene I, that is IA, IB and I. And these 3 alleles can produce 6 different types of genotypes. Blood group A can have a homozygous genotype IAI or a heterozygous IAI. Same way, blood group B can have homozygous genotype IBIB, or it can have IBI, a heterozygous. Blood group AB has only one type of genotype IAIB, and blood group O it is recessive, and so the genotype is II. So children, this example of human blood group, ABO blood group, is a very good example of multiple allelism also. What is multiple allelism? It is if there are more than 2 alternative alleles, allelic forms of a gene occupy the same loci in a pair of homologous chromosomes. If there are more than 2 alleles in a population, then you call it as multiple allelism. Multiple means more. More than what? More than 2. Again, I'll repeat here that in an individual, there will be only 2 alleles of a trait, but in a population, there can be more than 2 alleles of the trait. Now we next come up to paleotropy. Students, what is paleotropy? Till now, you all have studied that one gene, one character. Means one gene controls one character. But it's not that. Yes, one gene controls one character, or one character can be controlled by more than one genes, or one gene can control more than one character. So what is paleotropy? Paleotropy is if one gene controls 2 or more than 2 phenotypic characters, then it is called paleotropy. I'll repeat again. When one gene controls 2 or more than 2 phenotypic character, it is known as paleotropy. And a good example of it is phenylketonuria in humans. Now this disease, phenylketonuria, it is an autosomal recessive disease. This disease is caused due to mutation in the gene that codes for phenylalanine hydroxylase enzyme. There is a gene that codes for enzyme phenylalanine hydroxylase. If mutation takes place in this particular gene, then the person suffers from phenylketonuria. Children, this is an inborn error of metabolism. As I told you just now, it is an autosomal recessive trait. In normal person, this phenylalanine hydroxylase converts phenylalanine into triosine. But when the gene gets mutated, this enzyme is not produced, and when the enzyme is not produced, in the absence of enzyme, this conversion does not take place. So there is an accumulation of phenylalanine, and this phenylalanine ultimately or finally gets converted into phenylpyruvic acid. And this phenylpyruvic acid gets accumulated in the brain, and there is it causes mental retardation. Also, the urine excreted out is having black spots. and there is reduction of hair, there is skin pigmentation. So you can see all these phenotypic characters are being controlled by this gene, and when this gene gets mutated, problems are there. So this is paleotropy. Today, the last topic of this video, that is polygenic inheritance. Children, what was paleotropy? Paleotropy was one gene controls more than one phenotypic character. And polygenic inheritance is when one character is controlled by more than one gene. And a good example of it is human skin color. The skin color of humans is controlled by 3 genes: gene A, gene B, gene C. 3 genes together controls the human skin color, and the skin color is the combination of these 3 genes. Now, if 3 genes are controlling the human skin color, there will be 6 alleles, each gene having 2 alleles. Now you can see over here, I have mentioned, if the combination comes as capital A, capital A, capital B, capital B, capital C, all the 6 alleles are capital, then the person will be very dark. All the 6 alleles are small, recessive, then the person will be very light, British. And if it is 3 capital, that is 3 dominant and 3 recessive, then it will be intermediate. So if you can see to this cross, where a white, that is very light, with a genotype small a, small b, small b, small c, is crossed with a very dark black person, genotype capital A, capital B, capital B, and capital C. The person in the F1 generation will be an intermediate with 3 capital and 3 small. And if we do the take out the F2 generation, there are 64 possibilities in that, and the phenotypic ratio of F2 generation will be 1:6:15:20:15:6:1. 1 very dark is to 6 dark is to 15 fairly dark, 20 intermediate, 15 fairly light, 6 light, and 1 very light. If we draw a graph, it gives you a bell-shaped graph, where very dark is 1/64, dark is 6/64, fairly dark is 15/64, intermediate is 20/64. Same way, fairly light is 15/64, very light is 6/64, and light is 6/64 and very light is 1/64. So the ratio is 1:6:15:20:15:6:1. So you have seen that in this video we have studied about incomplete dominance, codominance, then about paleotropy and polygenic inheritance. Students, these are all post-Mendelian discoveries. Thank you.